Welcome to Cooking with Dave and Audie. I'm Dave, that's Audie. Today we're doing one of my favorite desserts. We're doing fresh berries and Sabayon sauce. Sabayon sauce is really simple. We're going to start with that. There are a few steps involved. So first of all, just a couple of whole egg yolks. I got like 7 there. That's just what I had in the fridge. You don't really want to do less than, I don't know, 2 or 3 at a time for something like this. It needs to be sweetened, so we got some sugar. I still like to add a good pinch of salt. Get some sugar in there, and we want it to be just sweet. I don't like things very sweet. And then we're going to flavor it with some citrus. I got some lemon, some lime, some orange. If you do these in the proper proportions, you get sort of a Fruit Loops flavor from it, which is nice. I'm not necessarily going for that. I just want a little citrus. You don't want to add too much moisture to this because we need to thicken it up and then mount it with a bunch of butter. So I'm kind of being careful about how much juice I throw in there. But I'm going to do one good squeeze of each. If we add too much now, there's no fixing it. We basically have to start over again. So we got a good pinch of salt, a couple tablespoons of sugar, a couple tablespoons of lemon, lime, and orange juice. This is pretty runny right now. We're going to need to thicken it up. We're going to do that on the heat on a double boiler so we can be really gentle about it. But I need to make sure my flavoring is good. My sweetness is good. See, needs a little more sugar. Another, I don't know, 2 tablespoons there. One more good pinch of salt. And a little bitty squeeze of each more of these. That's going to be right on. We have a pot of water here. It's at a good hard simmer. Maybe a low boil. Which is a little bit high for what we want. So I turned it down to about medium. I just want to keep it at a low simmer. Throw a little rag over this to sort of mediate the heat. Eggs on here. We're actually going to cook these eggs, but we need to do it very gently, very slowly. As this works, it's just going to thicken these eggs more and more and more until it's kind of custardy. Then we're going to mount it with a bunch of butter, throw it on some fresh berries, and I got a little surprise for the crunchy part of the dessert. You got to be really careful about how fast you warm this up. If you go too hard, too fast, you're going to basically scramble the egg instead of just thicken it, and you're basically screwed from there. You got to start over again. I've definitely done that a few times. So you do really, more or less, want to keep stirring. You can leave it for 10, 15, 20 seconds, but I'm already starting to get a little creeped out about that's not being stirred. We're working air into it, and we want to make sure that heat comes in evenly. That's the major purpose for the stirring, to make sure one part of it doesn't take more heat much faster than another part of it. This takes probably, what do you say, 6, 7, 8 minutes? Yeah. Somewhere in there. There is a certain consistency that we're looking for. When we get there, we'll show you what that looks like. You can tell now I'm much, much thicker than I started with. I'm taking on heat pretty quick, so I just took it off the heat for a second. I'm going to mix it up real good, let it cool down just a little bit. I do not want it to cook too fast. And it's still cooking here in the bowl, not even on the heat. Yes, sir. Just the heat from the custard itself in the bowl. What we're looking for here, something very specific. It's called ribbons. So basically, I can draw a figure 8 with the sauce and see it stand up on the sauce itself. You getting that, pal?
Yeah, I
got that beautiful figure 8 there. The only other thing we got to do is add some softened butter. Now, some recipes, some people will tell you you need to melt this butter first, clarify it, drizzle it in slowly. This is the easy way to do it. I'm showing you a real time-saving trick here. We're going to take this, we're going to turn that heat completely off now. We don't need to cook this much more, we just need to melt butter into it. That's going to be plenty of hot enough to do that. I'm going to knock off some big chunks of butter in here. This butter is very soft. I've kind of left it out on the counter for a while. And you don't want to do this really with cold butter. It needs to be softened. I'm going to start working that in. Use the heat to help melt that, but be very careful and quick about it. See, that butter's gone already. Time for more. Work this in. Not going to take much heat. That's going to loosen this up just a little bit and really richen it, make it nice and buttery, which is what we're looking for. That's ready to go there. But since we're serving this on a dessert, we want it to be sort of room temperature. If I chill this down like in a refrigerator to try and make it cold, there's so much butter in here that it will literally solidify, it will congeal. Won't be a sauce, it'll be chunky. Still tastes delicious, but you're unable to sort of remelt that back into a sauce. It'll just split and separate. You'll have eggs and grease. So we're done with that. We're just going to sit that on the counter. All we got to do is get some berries out, dress everything up. Let's make sure our seasoning's good, flavoring's good. Yeah, okay. You'd slap your mama for that. Alright, we just need to nip up some strawberries. Any white parts? Should I give them a nice strawberry tip, Audie?
Yeah, I think you should definitely do that.
Okay, so everybody thinks these big giant strawberries are the ones that you want. It's actually not true. The smaller the strawberry, the more flavor it's going to have. Any little white parts like that on the end, you want to kind of cut that off. It's not very sweet. Cut the top and the greens off. The deeper red it is, the more ripe it is. That's a nice one there. These greens won't hurt you. You can't eat them. They just don't taste that great. And it definitely doesn't fit into the dish we're doing today. You can candy them and stuff like that. It's too labor intensive for me. I'm a little bit more lazy than that. I'm just gonna cut these into like quarters. You got some blackberries, some blueberries, some raspberries, some strawberries. All delicious stuff, all fresh, all rinsed, all ripe. I'm gonna put a couple of strawberries down there. A couple of blackberries on top of that. Maybe I'll just spread them all out. That sounds all right there. A couple of raspberries in there. Couple of blueberries. One more right there. One more right there. Clean this up real quick. It looks sexy. We haven't even done anything to it yet.
Yeah.
It's just some berries I popped out of a little box. You want to be able to taste the berries in this. This is just a sauce. We're not making a soup, okay? Go easy with this stuff. A little couple of drizzles lightly around everything. Look at it just sort of run over those berries. I'll do just a little wee bit more here and there. Oh, son! Oh, son! Have a look at that. Looking good?
Yeah, it looks great.
Sort of pornographic, you know, like the money shot. Kind of, you know, just dripping all over everything. And I got a special little treat for a garnish. Got some oatmeal raisin cookies. Dried them out in the oven until they're kind of crispy. Got some texture to them.
Yeah.
I'm just going to crunch up a little bit of that.
I love that idea.
Sort of around. That way we get a little crunch here and there.
I think that's a great.
And the flavors are going to work well together. That sort of cinnamon, sugar, raisin. I think that'll do the trick right there. Man, Audie,
get a little closer.
I am cooking so good.
Yeah.
How does that look? Does that turn you on?
Yeah, that's really, really nice.
Is that pretty sexy?
It's delicious looking.
And it's really simple.
You can do it at home.
Yes, you can definitely do it at home. Some nice fresh berries, simple little Sabayon sauce, and a little cookie that I crunched up on there. Mind if I have a taste?
You should.
Okay. Man, nice, ripe, fresh berries. Sabayon is rich, buttery, but it's all cut through with the acid of the fresh berries and the citrus in the sauce. And that cookie's nice and crunchy. And it's got a little chewy part in the middle from like a raisin or the, you know, the part of the cookie that's not entirely crunchy. That's my kind of dessert. Not super sweet, nice and fresh. Other than a bunch of butter, fairly healthy as well. A little bit of sugar in there, but not too much. This is Cooking with Dave and Audie. I'm Dave, that's Audie. We appreciate you watching us. Have an awesome day.